Trump just issued a disgusting response to the massacre. As the country copes with the announcement of Justice Anthony Kennedy's cowardly retirement, news of yet another mass shooting rolled out of Maryland as the Annapolis-based publication The Capital Gazette became the latest victim of the American gun obsession. Donald Trump, the orange squeaky dog toy-playing president of the United States, has been busy campaigning for 2020, or possibly still on a victory lap from 2016. It's really hard to follow his narratives these days, as well as celebrating Kennedy's dereliction of his judiciary duties, and has surprisingly ignored the rest of the news cycle. But as the loser of the popular vote, which somehow still put him in power, he is expected to comment on issues such as these. Not that anyone would benefit from Trump's potential display of human emotion, as Fox News would surely weaponize any semblance of humanity pushed past his two white dentures, but it would be the most fair and comforting action the president could make for the victims and their families. But that would just be too kind. First, ABC News reported that Trump had been briefed on the matter, quoting White House Deputy Press Secretary Lindsey Walters, who offered the hollow "Our thoughts and prayers are with all that are affected." The brevity and complacency are particularly infuriating in this instance, since the individuals targeted by America's most recent domestic terrorist are journalists, the very people Trump advocates violence against on a regular basis, the most recent incident of which was just 4 days ago. It was almost better that Trump didn't address the issue himself, hypothetically giving the tyrant time enough to craft something more heartfelt that might almost apologize for his incendiary rhetoric. But Trump is an idiot with a Twitter account, so instead, he chose to insult the very people still bleeding from their gunshot wounds in 280 characters. I was briefed on the shooting at Capital Gazette in Annapolis, Maryland. My thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. He goes on to thank the first responders, which he capitalizes unnecessarily, to complete the tweet. That's the whole message. No apology for mocking journalists and the free press at every turn. No acknowledgement in his own calls to enact this very violence against these very people as recently as this week. Just a few days ago, one of his supporters booed and harassed CNN's Jim Acosta, who was present at one of Trump's recent 2020/2016 campaign/victory rallies, and her actions were celebrated by right-leaning pundits across the internet, all for Acosta's crime of reporting the truth. As we have seen with his handling of his multiple bankruptcies, sexual assaults, romantic affairs, and Russian pandering, Trump will never take responsibility for his actions. Every time he fails to do so, someone else's crippling despair becomes yet another joke for this callous monster and his administration. Trump is an insult to the office of the presidency, but more importantly, he is an insult to decent human beings everywhere.